Good morning and welcome to NOFO Live, where I, Tracy Kessler, and my co-host Sunita Narma come on every Friday and talk about all things North Fork. We are very excited to have on a guest today to talk about an upcoming event. I see you there. Hi. All right. I've got a request. Unfortunately, Sunita will not be joining us today. She has some family things to tend to. And thrilled to see so many people joining this morning. I know Sunita usually talks about the weather, but hi, Lori. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. Thank you.
I like that you're sitting outside.
Yeah, you know what? It's such a beautiful day and my backyard is so peaceful, so I thought I would just come out here and sit outside, enjoy
Yes,
the weather a little.
I can hear the birds actually from from outside, even though I'm inside. So it is. I'm hoping that the sun shows up though.
It's supposed to come out around 10 o'clock, so we'll see.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I'll take your word for it. So we have Kelly who's going to be joining
Hi,
us today.
good
Hi,
Hi,
Kelly.
Kelly.
morning. How's it
Hi, good
How are
morning.
going?
you?
Good
It's been
morning.
a while. I forgot about the whole tripod setup and the whole thing.
Yes, yes, it's a whole thing. Well, I know as we talk about almost every week, I usually slide in right at 8:59. So seeing as I had to start it today from the NoFo Live account, I had to get my act together and get in this seat a little bit earlier. So. But let's go ahead and kick it off. So, Lori, I know we're here to talk about the Pride Parade, but I'd like for you to just give us a little bit of history of who you are and how you landed on the North Fork, and then we can go into the events.
Okay, so I own two hair salons. I started out with a salon in Woodbury, which I still have. That salon is called ID Salon. And I opened that salon in 2003. And I worked for a big hair company called KMS Goldwell as a global artistic director, and I was traveling. I was away almost all the time. I was home maybe 1 week a month, and
Oh,
it
wow.
got to be crazy. And I don't know if I had some kind of instinct or what, but right before COVID, I resigned from that position because I had reached like the pinnacle, in that area of my career, and I thought it was just time to do something different. And my wife and I we were living in Brooklyn, and we bought a summer home in Mattatuck. And you know how it goes. You start out in the summer, then it's every weekend, then it's weekends and holidays in the summer.
Yep.
And then in COVID, we just came out here, and we were living out here and going back to Brooklyn just to check on the house. And then right after COVID, we were like, we were in love with living here full time, and so we sold the house in Brooklyn, and we moved here permanently. Although we did end up buying a one-bedroom apartment in the city just to
I'll
have
never
something to go.
really leave the
You're
city.
Right.
you're you're pied a
There's,
terre. You're
yeah,
pied a
there's
terre.
certain,
Yes.
right. There's certain things that you can't give up about city life. So we have that.
Yeah.
Although my kids really probably enjoy it. Our kids enjoy it more than we do, but that's okay. That's good for them. But yeah, so I've been a hairdresser for a long time. I went to school. I went to college for marketing and merchandising, and I was working in the garment center in the city. And one of the designers that worked in the company that I worked in was designing bridal gowns, and asked me if I knew anybody that could do hair. And I said, well, I kind of dabbled in it as a kid as I was reworking all my mother's wigs and falls. Remember, it was the 70s, and like falls and wigs were big then. And she would catch me like back combing her hair, her wigs, and she would be like, what are you doing? So I always had a love for it, and I said, let me give it a shot. And she said, okay. We did a lookbook, and I honestly just fell in love with the whole process of making people feel good, and you know, putting a smile on someone's face. at the end of a haircut is like, it means so much to me. I think I always wanted to kind of do something for people and help in some way. And it really does make a difference. Jean Paul Gaultier once said that the hairdresser can be life changing. The hairdresser is the most important person, could be the most important person in someone's life, because you can
To a
literally change
curly
them.
girl,
Yeah,
for sure. Yes,
yeah,
100%. Yes.
yeah. So at Curly Girls, they say that women with curly hair, when they find someone that knows how to do their hair, they're a client for life. So
Oh,
and I think
changed
that's
my
true.
life forever.
Yeah,
Changed
yeah,
my life
right.
forever. Yep.
So anyway, in the middle of COVID, October of 2020, a lot of people were out here, as you know, from the city in Brooklyn. A lot of my friends and a lot of my clients from Up Island, and they said to me, "You have to do something out here because we need to get haircuts." And so I was like, you know what? Let me just walk around Greenport and see what's going on. I found a little spot, and the landlord was fantastic. He gave me a lease, and that was it. I mean, literally, I was so blessed because the salon just it just took off. It went, it just was a hit right
It
away.
was a needed service,
Yeah,
and you were there
I
to
mean,
fill that need. Hmm.
I think there's some hair salons out here that are good, but I think it was a different approach to hair that we brought. It was more fashion hair.
For sure.
And I think that's what made us so successful. The girl that works with me, Monica, she's a colorist and a stylist, and she's incredibly talented and great with people. And we went from a small two-chair salon to now a small four-chair salon. And I brought in a couple of more stylists now to work on Wednesdays and Fridays. So we're open now almost every day. And it's going really well.
I feel like
We're doing well, thank
that
God.
alone is an anomaly for the North Fork, something being
Yes.
open every day.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
That is true.
That's amazing.
Sundays and Mondays we're closed, but that's probably will change also eventually. So yeah.
Okay.
Lori, tell everybody where exactly you're located. You're in
So
Greenport, right?
we are located on East Main Street, which is really it's really East Front. I'm sorry, we're on East Front, which is really the old Carpenter Street. So it's on the side street going toward the shipyard up from D'Angelo Leather. So it's
Yeah.
where yeah. So it's right. There's two little stores there. Elkin Group has their location there, their office, and we're right next door. I'm told it was an old doll factory at one time. Like they
Ooh,
fixed doll. It went through a million different things. I've heard so many stories, but I think the original thing was it was like a doll repair shop or something. Which,
wow.
after everybody's gone at night, is a little creepy when you think about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Dolls can be
actually,
creepy.
randomly, we were cleaning out my grandmother's basement, and I found all these old dolls from Czechoslovakia, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid of them, but they are creepy. I don't
Yes.
want to give them to my daughter. She's
Right.
gonna freak out.
Dolls and clowns,
Yeah,
right? Creepy. It's just
very creepy.
And
Yes.
going back to the doll thing, I feel like everywhere on the North Fork has this like fun backstory that you get to
yeah,
hear every
Yeah.
once in a while.
for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's so many old buildings here, and the town has been around for so long. You're guaranteed going to get some stories. Some of these buildings. I mean, they're beautiful and probably haunted. Half of them, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's what people
Yeah.
tell me. That some of the buildings are, whatever. But anyway, I love Greenport. I love the North Fork. It's an
Yeah.
incredible place to work and live. It's great.
Well, and so you've made your stamp on the North Fork in another way. So let's talk about what's coming up in 2 weekends. We've got the North Fork official Pride Parade.
Yes, which I'm extremely, extremely proud of. I have to say.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's a whole story in itself because when I first came out here and got involved I got involved with North Fork Women for Women. I joined their board. And I wanted to get involved right away in the community, and that seemed to me a fit, right? It was a perfect fit for me. And I was at one of their events, and I mentioned something about eventually trying to do a parade out here, and a couple of women were like, "It's never going to happen. You don't understand. We've been living here since the 60s. They're anti-gay." I was like, okay, all right, listen, they lived here. I haven't. Maybe they have something. But in COVID, with everybody coming out to the North Fork, I had 1 million people in my chair from the city who, were very liberal thinking. And I started to like bounce the idea off of people. Hey, what do you think about like a pride parade out here? And there wasn't one person that was against it. And, I want to just say that because it's important. We're a local business. I never wanted to be anything but a local business. I didn't want to be a seasonal hair salon like the Hamptons. I wanted to come and serve the people of the North Fork. And at the time, a lot of those people were, people from the city. And I have to tell you, North Fork people, locals, and people that transitioned here alike, everybody said it was the time. And so
Yeah.
I jumped on it. I was like, this
So
is my
Lauren,
window.
what
I have to
year
do it.
was that you came up with the idea? How many
it
years has the parade been going on now?
it's only last year was the first year.
Okay, so I went to the one last year and I was like, did I miss this? Have
Yeah.
I been missing this?
Right. Because it was so
It was
big, right? I mean, you
so
think about,
huge and it was
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. It was overwhelming for many, and overwhelming in such a positive way, because people who had been out here, as I said before, since the 60s, 70s, 80s, women, LGBTQ women, could never really come out, men and women alike. There's really very little acceptance out here over the years. They couldn't walk down the street holding hands. They couldn't,
Yeah.
express any kind of emotion to each other. They couldn't tell anybody they were gay. They lived together as sisters or friends or lived apart. And that's, the idea of that was very sad to me.
Yeah.
Along, along, yeah, along with the fact that I started to notice that I was getting a lot of kids in my chair, like teenagers and stuff that were trans from Shelter Island, from Mattatuck, from Greenport, or parents of trans or gay children that really were in need of some support.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. I got to do this,
Absolutely.
because this community needs to know that we live here, we spend our money here, and it needs to be accepted.
Such
Yeah.
an
So,
important message for
yeah.
sure. Hmm.
So I jumped on board with Norfolk, LGBT Network, which were friends of mine from my other salon. In my other salon, we created what we call a safe space. So people of all different backgrounds, doesn't matter who you are, what color you are, what your beliefs are, what your sexual orientation is, when you come to my salon, you're safe.
I love
Um,
that.
yeah.
Me too.
So
Oh, we lost you for a second, Lori.
I think she might be getting a phone call or something. Lori.
We lost her.
I didn't finish the sentence. They were on board.
We didn't
All right.
So
So
hear
wait,
what you said
we need
because
you to
you
back
broke
up.
up.
Oh,
You
I'm
have to
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
reverse back a little
sorry.
bit.
I'll back up. I said I reached out to LGBT Network,
Hmm.
who I had an association with before, and I didn't even finish the sentence. Can we do a pride parade on the North Fork? And they jumped on board immediately.
Amazing.
So
Yeah. Sure.
it was great. And then people really just started jumping on. We had these two women that live in Southhold, Sarah and Colleen. Um, they are an integral part of making this pride parade work for the last couple of years. Mayor Stussy, amazing.
Lori, I was
He
going to ask you one question that I'm sure is on Tracy's mind from an events logistical point of view. I'm sure it's so many moving parts and you rely on so many people
yeah
to get it done. So how do you do it with arranging such a huge event?
yeah. Well, the first year was of course the most difficult year, because we had to figure out how each town does things differently.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of figuring it out. But I have to tell you, between Kevin Stussy and Linda Kessler, who owns Kessie in Greenport, they were, I mean, they were like a book of information. They told us how to do every single thing. It was like Linda had done maritime, so she had all vendor information and
Yeah.
permit information. And then it was a matter of just like boots on the ground, just hitting the ground from Riverhead to Orient, telling everybody what was going to happen. And
Yeah. Well, also, I feel like even in the event world, the word permit scares
right,
everybody. So having someone to help you, navigate through that
Yes,
was key. Yeah.
yes, for sure,
So
for
now
sure.
my big question is, from last year to this year, what are we expecting to be different? I am expecting it to be over the top, huge, because last year it was huge and
Yeah,
it was the
Yeah.
first year.
yeah. I
So
have to
what can
tell.
we expect?
So I want to tell you that last year we just didn't know, right? I think a lot of people were hesitant because they were either like, this thing is not going to be a big deal, or they were fearful, what if something happens during the parade? When we turned the corner from Broad Street onto Main Street, and I saw what was ahead of us, I was in the car with two of my really good friends, and I had my family and other friends around me, and I don't think there was a dry eye
Yeah.
in our crowd. I mean, everybody was so taken aback. It was unbelievable. And as we were walking through the streets, I saw those women who I referred to before
Yeah.
crying tears of joy for the
Yeah.
recognition. So yeah, so this year we are we've already had a benefit at Little Fish. Arden and Ryan at Little Fish, they're amazing, and Raina, they're just amazing, generous people who
I
continually.
see them watching now,
Yeah,
so
Yes.
shout out to
Yes.
Little Fish. I
shout out
Yes.
to Little
agree.
Fish. They give so much to the community as a whole, and then to us, they couldn't be more generous. So thank you, guys at Little Fish. We did an event May 3rd, a dinner event with them that was a great success. Thursday night, the 20th, there'll be another cocktail party at Little Fish, which
Okay.
is going to be fantastic. It'll,
And
music and drinks and just.
are these events fundraising for the
They're all
parade, or are
fundraising
they just
events.
marketing?
They're all
Okay.
fundraising events. So that's a fundraiser. Then the 21st, we're having our official kickoff party this year. Last year it was at Little Fish. This year it's at American Beach. Brent and Ryan there, they gave us the entire Sterling Square. And they're bringing
Amazing.
in,
Wow.
yeah, they're bringing in entertainment from Manhattan. It's called The Box, and there'll be some burlesque, some drag queens. There'll be
Oh
opera,
my
painting. Inside Black Llama, outside 1943 pizza was amazing. They're giving us free pizza all night long.
That's
There'll be
amazing.
drink
great.
specials, auctions. We're auctioning off huge things. I'm auctioning off a year of free haircuts
Oh
as
Wow.
one of the
my
things.
God.
Yeah, so
We
there's
got
some
a
big,
great prize.
we're giving away hotel stays. It's going to be a great
Lori,
night. So that's
I also saw that Greenporter was involved and they're doing a
yes.
post party, right?
The Greenport Hotel, also Chelsea, extremely generous guy. He's doing a pool party on Sunday to end the weekend, and that's going to be, I believe, from 1 to 4.
So this
That
is
And
going to be
sounds
a
so
whole
fun.
weekend
the
of
whole weekend,
celebration.
the idea is also, listen, the idea of Pride, is a Pride parade is not just woohoo, let's have a parade,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
well, first of all, and this is something I really want the people of the North Fork to understand. This is important. That yes, it's great. It grows awareness for who we are in the community, but the money we raise really goes back into the community to help the LGBT people, especially the kids. If anybody is interested to go on the LGBT network website and just take a look at what they do for kids, it's incredible. So much so that they asked me to join the board last year, and I'm proud to say that I jumped on board because I want to make a difference, and I want to be able to make a difference for the kids on the North Fork, and I think I can do that for sure through the network. They're amazing.
Lori, if somebody can't make it to the events, but they want to donate to the cause, where do they do that?
So I want to say that if you go on northforkpride.org, it'll give you everything Pride related. So you can
Okay.
be a sponsor, you can be a storefront partner, you can volunteer, you could just make a donation, a separate private donation. We take private donations all the time. There's many ways that you can help, not only for the Pride Parade, but in general, if you're interested in helping the LGBTQ community, it's a great way to get involved. My two partners in crime are Robert Vitale, he's the CEO, and Brian Rosen is the head of all things, all things LGBT network. He's the production coordinator and manager, and he is, they're amazing guys, really. Um, I want to say that thank you to everybody who's volunteered and become a partner so far. And there's still time to get involved. Um, Anybody who becomes a sponsor or a partner will be advertised in the Pride Guide. I just want to say a couple of other things about the parade this year. There'll be a festival following the parade in Mitchell Park. We have a
Okay.
DJ. We're going to have a tent for dancing. And this year, a very special addition to the parade is we're doing Pride Pet. And so they will be
Oh,
anybody, yeah. So anybody that wants to march with their dog, cat, llama, cow, chicken, goat, whatever pet you have, you can register online to march with your pet. And then we're going to do a little contest at the end of the parade.
so
Best dressed pet.
that was going to be my next question of if you want to march in the parade, you have to register?
So if you want to march as an individual, no, there's no registration. Just come out, join in and march. But if you want to join as a group,
Yeah.
you do have to register. It's a $25 registration for any group. And then there's like
Okay.
an additional fee if you want to put a truck in or a car or float,
Okay.
anything like that. But if you register as a group, doesn't matter how many people march with you. It's for everybody. But individuals, there's no fee. Just come out and march. You can march with
Well,
us. You can march
I
with
will put
LGBT.
out here that NOFO Live is trying to come up with something to register as a group. Sadly, I'm going to be on vacation, and I will tell you, Lori, the impact that you've had is actually making me, because I go away every year this weekend, is actually making me think about for next year, I want to move the vacation so that I can
I
be
think
here for it.
you should, Tracy.
That's
I have to be
great.
honest.
That's great.
It
Thank you
was
so much
amazing
for that.
last year.
I
Yeah.
mean,
But Lori, I know I am sorry to interrupt you, Tracy, but I need to ask Lori this very important question. Last year, she did this amazing. It wasn't a float. It was this balloon
March.
decorative.
Yeah.
No, just it was like a
No?
whole scene with
Yeah.
balloons. I
Right.
want to know. We need to have the sneak preview of what it's going to be. We need the insider scoop. What's happening this year?
All I'm going to say is many more balloons.
Oh,
Oh,
more
God.
balloons. I love
Many
it.
more balloons this year.
I'm
Yes.
so
I'm so
disappointed
excited.
I'm going to miss it. I'm so
Yeah.
disappointed.
Next year, change your plans and be here for
I
the
know.
parade.
Well, Sunita had said to me, like, we talk about our plans and what we want to do in the community. And she's like, so do you want to do something for the Pride Parade? And I was like, yes, we're getting a car. We're getting everybody up there. And then she said the date. And I was like, no. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but
So
we're going to try to do something.
this year we have our grand marshals are Sandy Benedetto and Brent Pelton from American Beach. So we're pretty proud to have those people on board with us.
So
Yeah.
awesome.
All right, so before we go into the NOFO
Excuse
Live
me.
5, let's just give everybody the stats. So what time does the parade start? Where does it start? Like, what do they need to know?
The parade starts on Broad Street in Greenport at 12 noon sharp. If you're marching and you're registered to march, I would definitely get there earlier. There'll be information on the website, but I would say at least an hour earlier, if not a little bit more, because it's like a whole party when you get to the lineup.
Yeah.
Everybody's on Broad Street, with music playing, everybody's celebrating already. So it's kind of a pre-party to the parade. It's a lot of fun. So
Right,
the
there'll
earlier you get
also
there, the more
be
fun you have.
fantastic vendors.
Yes.
Before the parade, I walked around and got coffee, and there's a lot to do before the parade too.
Yeah. So if people that are just coming to view the parade should probably get there a little bit earlier also, because you want to get a good spot to see
Yep.
the floats. There's so many more people marching this year, so it's going to be. Last year, I think we had 2,500 people in town, and I think this year they're expecting close to 4,000.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
So
Congratulations.
again, it's a great thing for the businesses to come out on the street and activate and sell their products, and it's good for the community all the way around.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. And thank you, Lori, for
Thank
bringing
you.
it to the community,
Yes.
because it really,
it's
really
my
was
pleasure.
needed.
It's
My
so
pleasure.
great when you have this great, wonderful idea, but to see it come to fruition is a whole nother ballgame. So
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting.
Well, and especially given that what you've talked about of the history of, the idea that the people who have been living here for so long thought that it wouldn't be accepted, and to see how accepted it is and how excited the community is to support it. I'm wearing my proud ally shirt
Thank
today.
you. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, it's been amazing talking to you, Lori. I'm so excited about what
Thank
you're doing
you.
in this community. But we're going to go ahead and go into our NOFO Live 5. We ask the same 5 questions of
Go
everybody.
ahead.
So if you were going to take Kelly and I to lunch, where would you take us?
I would take you to Silver Sands. I love it
Yes.
there.
Yes.
It's just amazing sitting in the sand on the, over the sound. It's unbelievable. It's just an amazing experience to sit there and relax.
I love
You
it.
feel
It's
like you're
like
in
going
Europe.
back in time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
going back in time. And it's very European feeling. It's really, really nice to be out there.
Yeah.
Tracy, let's see if I remember the NOFO
I was going to
live
say, if you need
live
help, let me
5.
know.
Lori, what's your go-to brewery or vineyard?
I would say definitely my go-to brewery would be, Greenport Brewery because it's so much fun. They have all those events with the dog jumping they just did. There's always something fabulous going on there. And I think my favorite vineyard out here is Bedell. It's my favorite wine out here. I just
I
love it.
got married there.
It's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little bit more chill than some of the other vineyards. Like I know, it's not like millions of trucks and buses. And that's why I love, besides the wine, that's why I love it. It's a little bit more for the North Fork.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Kelly, can you remember Sunita's main question? What's the question that would exemplify Sunita?
Of course, I can remember that one. I was trying to rack my brain. Do you have a secret or go-to sunset spot that you would like to share with everyone?
Yeah, so I don't want to share it, but
Yeah,
I
that's why I said secret.
yeah, so I live in Mattituck and I live down the block from Breakwater Beach. And one of the things, it's like a tradition in my family in the summer. Every weekend, every night, we pack up a little picnic, situation with some Bedell wine, as a matter of fact, and we go down to Breakwater and watch the sunset. It's breathtaking.
Amazing. I
Breathtaking.
live in Mattituck too, but I've never gone
Oh,
down
you
there,
have
so
to
I need to
go
do this.
down there. You
Yeah.
have to, even though they say no
Beautiful.
animals, people at sunset sneak their little animals down there. It's really nice. A lot of people go down there just for sunset. It's gorgeous. It's really
Good to
beautiful.
know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you do a lot of cooking at home, but do you have any farm stands that you like particularly?
I love Sangley.
Mhm.
We do a CSA from Sangley every year. And Soundview Market is a Soundview farm stand. It's just amazing. They have so much delicious produce. So
Where
I
I
would
think
say those are
at
the two.
Soundview?
I think is it Bayview or
Well,
Bayview,
there's
right?
one
Oh,
on the
Bayview.
bay side
Okay.
called
Yeah.
Oh,
Bayview,
okay.
and then there's one they own the Soundview is
Oh,
on the Sound side, and
there's
it's
another one
just
on
at
the
the
other
end
side.
of
Yes.
it's just at the end of James. It's across the street from Lumber and Salt in
Yes.
Jamesport.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
okay.
It's a smaller
Okay.
yeah. It's
one
a
than
little
Bayview.
bit smaller. It's pretty big though, but
Yeah.
it's I just think it's a better place to shop. Bayview's great, but
Hmm.
I love Soundview. Off the beaten track a little.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just like the North Fork in
Yeah.
general.
Fair question that I'm not remembering, Tracy, because I think is that it?
No, you
That's
got him.
it. I
I
got him.
asked the last one. So you did it. Good job, Kelly.
I remember
You
it.
did
It's been a long time.
Sunita proud. Um, so Lori, the last question is always, why do you love being a part of the North Fork community?
Well, the first day that Catherine and I came out here and we drove through, we were like, come on, did someone like build this? It can't be real. Like, did someone put us out here and just say, have a great weekend in, Wonderland? Because how could this place be real? And from that visit on, we were like, that's it. We're getting a house out here. It's just the most I don't know. It's magical. It's really a magical place. And not only in the summer, I love the North Fork deep in February. Like, I wish we would have snow again because one of my favorite things to do on a cold February weekend night is to go to the Frisky and have drinks and dinner at the Frisky Oyster. And I don't
Yes.
know why. It's something that we love to do, my wife and I. And every summer we kick off the summer at Noah's at the bar.
Uh,
It's just a thing we do.
I love it.
But yeah, I mean, there's just so many great things out here. The sunsets, the houses, the restaurants. the little stores. It's just so it's unbelievable out here. I couldn't think of
It's
any other place
idyllic.
I'd want to be. Yeah.
It's idyllic.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Absolutely.
we have to thank you for being a part of the North Fork community and
Thank you.
bringing this wonderful, forward thinking and really progressive parade here. And it was so needed because so many of us do support the community, the LGBTQ
Yes.
community. And, thank you for giving us a way to share and show that support so that other people will think about doing it as well.
Thank you so much
For
for
sure.
having me, and thanks for the support. We really appreciate it.
Amazing.
Thanks, Lori. I'm
Thank you, Lori.
sorry I'll miss it next
Yeah,
weekend,
yeah.
but I wish you the
Next
best of
year.
luck.
Next
Okay.
year, I want to see you in a big float
Yes.
heading the
Yes.
parade.
Tracy, you
Yes.
better start planning now. I know you're gonna
Well,
do it like out of the park.
listen, if Sunita follows through on the plans that we have for this year, I will be there, but my body will not be there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
Okay.
We have a surprise. We have a
Great.
surprise.
love it.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. Thank you very
Brilliant.
much. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Have a great
Happy
weekend.
Friday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.